Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming to my page. Today I will be talking about the new artificial intelligence program called Deepfakes and its impact on social media. I know most of us use social media every day, and this includes Instagram and Facebook, and these are the platforms that do require a lot of pictures uploaded, so it's interesting to see and ask where these pictures really go and what happens with our information. And people know there are risks to using social media, but no one really ever asks what risks do we have to worry about. And I will be talking about the risks today, deepfakes, and how they can use your images for malicious purposes. Today I will be going through my poster through this presentation. First, let me explain what deepfakes actually are. The name deepfakes comes from the machine learning method called deep learning. Deep learning involves artificial intelligence processing data and then learning how to make decisions. A popular form of artificial intelligence that uses deep learning is Google Translate. Google Translate was created through the mass amounts of data uploaded from different languages. Google Translate is then able to create predictive algorithms and make decisions using inputted data. Artificial intelligence technology has been developed in advance to now make videos, which is where deepfakes come into play. The deepfakes programming involves uploading images into the program, and with enough images and varying facial expressions, the program is able to create a digital version of a person. For example, if a person uploaded a large amount of pictures of Katy Perry, this person could now film a video as Katy Perry and make her say or do whatever they'd like. Celebrities and politicians have been easy targets due to the high quantity of pictures available of them on the internet. Another place on the internet with endless amounts of pictures is social media, and this is why I'm currently examining how everyday people like ourselves could be impacted by this new technology. For my online experiment, I had a total of 203 Marist students, and most of these students have never heard of this program. And I had 4 different conditions, and this was split into 4 groups. So certain groups had different levels of proximity and efficacy to see how they would view the distant threat of deepfakes and how that would impact their behavior change regarding what they post on social media. Next in my project, I had to do a literature review. So a few of the topics I looked into were deepfakes, social cognitive theory, construal level theory, and privacy protection on social media. For my theme of deepfakes, it was very difficult to find literature on this subject because this is a very new artificial intelligence system. But what I discovered is that in China currently, there's this new app called Zhao, and this is currently being used for entertainment purposes. And basically, this app can be found in the App Store, and all it takes is a few selfies with different facial expressions, and you can put yourself onto a movie character or a movie scene and become that person. So you're making a deepfake video of yourself. And this is very simple technology, and it was interesting to see how easy it's become when in the past few years you had to be an expert programmer to even consider making this. And this just shows how this is a real threat that people should be interested in. Another important theme I researched was the social cognitive theory, and this theory is based around self-efficacy, which revolves around self-control and the control you have over a situation. And a lot of examples used in the research was about behavior change regarding weight loss and smoking, which can be seen as distant threats and people are able to change based on their self-control. So this relates to this study because if people are able to limit the posts and pictures they put on social media, they will be able to have some control over the situation. And in the different conditions, some people were giving a scenario with high control, while others were given a scenario with low control, and we will get into that later. Another theme that was studied is the control level theory, and this was measured and determined how people felt with the distance of the threat of deepfakes, and different conditions examined whether people were more concerned if the threat was closer to them or further away. And another important theme studied was the privacy protection on social media. Social media users do not have control over what other people post about them. And even if people do limit their pictures they post, they cannot control what other people post about them. Based on my research, this led to the following questions. Do the benefits of social media outweigh the privacy risks? And does proximity and efficacy influence how people view the threat of deepfakes? For the design of my experiment, I had 4 different conditions, and this included 203 respondents. There were 50 people per condition, and I solely used Marist students through systematic and convenient sampling. And I did this by sending an online survey, which took a maximum of 10 minutes, and the survey was divided into 2 pages. The first page has general questions about social media usage to measure independent variables, and the second page asks questions specific to deepfakes after they read the scenario and behavior changes, so this showed the dependent variables. And on the left, I have the 4 different conditions I had. So the first one had high proximity and high efficacy. The second one had high proximity, low efficacy. The third one, low proximity and high efficacy. And the fourth one, low proximity and low efficacy. So this allowed me to see how people felt when the proximity and control was altered, and to see how they perceived deepfakes as a whole. Here is the first condition. So one group had high proximity and high efficacy. And basically this is saying that deepfakes are an immediate threat, and anyone can use this program to spread false information. But at the same time, you can limit your pictures on social media and have a private account to protect you from this threat. Here is the second condition, which is high proximity and low efficacy. This condition is saying that deepfakes are an immediate threat and they can be used to spread misinformation, but this is also saying that there is a lack of control, saying that information that is posted cannot be removed and will remain in the system forever. Condition 3, low proximity and high efficacy. So this is showing that right now deepfakes are being used as comedy videos, but limiting your pictures and keeping your accounts private can protect you. And condition 4, low proximity and low efficacy. This is saying deepfakes are being used for entertainment right now, but once the information is on the internet, it cannot be removed. And this is just showing the different conditions that were in my survey and how respondents felt when they read this and then answered the following questions. For the results across all questionnaires, the majority of people disagreed with this statement, and this said, I can count on social media companies such as Facebook or Instagram to protect customers' personal information from unauthorized use. And this just shows that people do not trust social media platforms with their information. This shows the 4 different questionnaire results. To me, the threat caused by deepfakes feels, and then people were asked to answer very close or very distant. As you can see, many people were in the middle and were unsure of how to feel, and a lot of people also said that the threat still felt very distant to them. These results show that after this questionnaire and experiment, people are willing to restrict the types of information that they share with apps on social media across all conditions. The majority said they were likely to restrict the information. You can also see in these charts that the groups that had the most very unlikely and unlikely results were the ones with high efficacy, and this means they had the most control over the situation. And these are the conditions that said that if they limit their post and have private accounts, they'll be able to have some control. So it's interesting to see how efficacy had more of an impact than proximity. This chart shows what people said regarding behavior change, and people are very likely to continue posting photos and videos on social media across all conditions. The majority said they were likely and very likely to continue this habit. These are some key findings that I discovered through my research. A big one was that people do not trust social media at all. Before I even mentioned deepfakes in my questionnaire, people already responded saying they do not trust Facebook or Instagram to protect their information. So this just shows that respondents are aware that their information is being collected, but they will still continue to use these programs. Another interesting thing I discovered was that people are really unaware of this program, and 61% have never even heard of it. So if college-educated students were unaware, then I'm sure the general public knows even less. So this just shows it's important that people know of this risk so they can take actions and change future behavior regarding their privacy. Proximity and efficacy. Proximity did not have as much of a factor as I thought it would, but efficacy definitely had a noticeable pattern. People who had more control did not view deepfakes as much as a threat and were more unsure with their answers, whereas people who had less control definitely saw deepfakes as more of a threat. And behavioral change, respondents across all conditions said they plan to unfollow and unfriend certain people that they don't know on social media, and also delete some content that is already on their pages. And many agreed they would restrict the information they post in the future. So it's interesting to see how, even without the proximity and efficacy variables, people are still scared by this program and what it could do with their photos. And another interesting point was that for social media, the benefits outweigh the risks. College students will still continue to post photos and videos on social media. And in the future, it'll be interesting to see how this program plays out in our lives and how it can impact each and every one of us. Thank you for listening to my presentation. If you want to see more results and learn some more, my paper is also included on this page, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the honors thesis.